We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Yeah, starting to heat up. Team Benavidez responds to Jamal Charlo's call out, saying he would come up to 168 for the smoke. Well, they ready for the smoke. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, head over to Patreon. I got some new stuff coming for the Patreon. You know, I'm going to dedicate and shift some content over there for Patreon members or YouTube channel members. So hit the YouTube join button to become a YouTube channel member. It outlines everything. Or head over to Patreon and give that a look. And we're going to get that rocking. That's the next order of business. Another great way to help and support the channel is to click the link in the description box and get ESPN Plus, the bundle. This includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three of those apps, one price, $12.99 a month. I personally have all three. I've been satisfied. Constant updates, docuseries, documentaries, television shows, new and old. You know, they got classics like Smart Guy. He's a smart guy. Do-do, do-do-do-do-do. They got Smart Guy, Boy Meets World, X-Men, the animated series. Let's get it. The Avengers. Get that bundle, cop it right now. It does help the channel, helps us grow, get more gear. I'm about to get a new computer soon, you know, so I can make sure I hit y'all off with the fastest content and stuff like that. But helps the channel, but also gives you guys some stuff during this quarantine. Now let's talk about it. Team Benavidez did an interview, link in the description. David Benavidez' trainer pops. And congrats to David Benavidez, he's having a child, right? But they responded to Jamal Charlo. He did an Instagram live. I did a video about that. So you guys got to stay tapped in with me on the channel. Jamal Charlo did an Instagram live with Anthony Durrell. And he said that he would move up to 168. He said if Durrell can't get the rematch with David Benavidez, he said, I'll move up to 68 and take that smoke. You know, and it created a lot of dialogue and conversation about a potential fight between David Benavidez and Charlo at 168 if he's going to move up. So they have since responded. Okay. Yeah. Okay, David. So that duo right there, they just responded. They also called out Canelo. Made a video about all this stuff. But they responded in the interview. Again, if you want to hear verbatim and watch it, click the link in the description. But this is what his pops had to say. His trainer, his pops, Jose Benavidez, about, you know, the Charlo fight. With my trusted assistant, Money Penny. She gonna help me out right now.
Benavidez Charlo. Before, they didn't even call on us. Now the CHARLO'S are calling on us, and to me, that's an honor. Charlo is a really good fighter in my eyes, and he's a dangerous fighter. Canelo? He's the face of boxing. Now there's talk about all that. It just makes me happy that we're on the level where people are starting to get to know him now. Wherever you talk about the champions at 168, he's there, you know? When Jermall Charlo first came out, we love boxing. We see these guys, the Charlo brothers, that are exciting, and talk a lot of S. They're exciting. Said Benavidez about Jermall and Jamal. They are exciting, and they're brothers. They were knocking everyone out and doing all these things.
So he says it's an honor. It's an honor to get called out by these people like Jamal Charlo. He says he rates Jamal and Jamal. They're good fighters. And he says Jamal's a dangerous fighter. He says they called out Canelo. He's the face of boxing in his opinion. And he's just happy that his son is starting to get some type of recognition. Keep going, Money Penny. You're doing a great job. Money Penny, she doing a hell of a job on the channel. My guest assistant, Money Penny.
I was like, whoa, these guys are good. The knockouts stopped a little bit because the competition was better, but that's how it is. After first, they fight guys that aren't that experienced. That's how it's supposed to be. And little by little, it's what you learn. Are you ready for the big boys? Right now, they're champions, but the people want to see better fights now.
He said, are you ready for the big boys? Okay. Let's go.
They say, okay, you're going to fight David Benavidez. They're saying, oh man, David Benavidez is going to kill you. We both have our own fans, and
oh my God, did you hear what that said? He said, David Benavidez is gonna kill you. Let's go.
Oh man, David Benavidez is going to kill you. We both have our own fans, and it gets interesting. Some people say that Charlo will beat David, but 70% say that David will beat Charlo because he's bigger. Charlo is saying that David is really young. He's a baby, you know? He
says he's trying to compare him to Erickson Lubin, but you can't compare that. You know, and he's talking about, because in the live where he called out Benavidez, he says people are getting this twisted. Jamal Charlo made reference to what his brother said, his brother, or what his brother did accomplish. He says it's just like Erickson Lubin. Listen, you guys have to learn in this comment section, at least on my channel, how to comprehend. What Charlo was saying in that interview is that it's just like when my brother Jamal fought Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin was talking all this smack, and he was the guy who was up and coming, supposed to take my brother's belt, and my brother knocked him out in one round. He said he was a young dude. So Jamal was really comparing the fact that Erickson Lubin was young and ambitious over anything. He was young and ambitious, and he thought that's what he wanted, and then he fought Charlo, and then he lost. I don't think Jamal Charlo ever in that was comparing or trying to allude that David Benavidez fights like Erickson Lubin or they're the same fighters. I think that, it's really, to me, really easy to comprehend. Jamal Charlo was basically just saying that David Benavidez is a youthful guy and a young guy, and he's not experienced like the Charlos. That's what he was saying. It wasn't, a lot of people are getting that confused saying, oh, but Benavidez is not Erickson Lubin and he fights like this. It's nothing about that. He's basically saying, you could use any example. It doesn't, he just used his brother, obviously, to big up his brother. But you could look at Floyd Mayweather was experienced, and Canelo was only 23 years old and he looked horrible. But I'm from the old school. Don't start nothing, won't beat nothing. So it is what it is, because if that 23-year-old knocks out the older fighter or the more seasoned fighter, then they get all the credit. So, it has to go both ways. So that's all Charlo was talking about. He wasn't comparing David Benavidez stylistically to Lubin. Keep going, Money Penny. You're doing a good job.
David Benavidez is the champion for a reason. He has 2 belts. Plus, you know what's going to happen in that fight. We're not going to in there to box. David is an exciting fighter. He wants to give the people what they pay for. We're going to go in there and attack. He doesn't run around or fight on his back foot. I think that would be a great fight, man, because one of them is going to go down, said Jose on a clap. I'm pretty sure we're going to beat him because of what we're doing. I train him, Benavidez, and I know what he's doing. I'm confident. He should do a couple of fights at 168. I don't think that fight is going to happen. And I don't think they're going to fight David right away. I think Charlo going to get to 168 and see where he's at. And then from then on look at facing Benavidez. That's a fight that we would want, and take, I don't think it's going to be an easy fight, but it's going to be an exciting fight. And eventually, David is going to beat him. It's going to take some time, but little by little, he'll break him down. But that's what I see happening. David's shots are too big for him.
Thank you, Money Penny. Did a hell of a job. Now, he's basically saying that they would take that, they would accept that fight with open arms. Look at this clip. Hold on, let me show you that clip. Okay. Yeah. Them the shots that the dad was talking about. These the shots, okay. Man, Benavidez is a beast. I'll mess with Benavidez. He's dope. Ooh, that left hook is money. But listen, it's a hell of a fight. Charlo and Benavidez, great fight. You know, I've already seen it brewing. You know, the racist old media fans and stuff, they're like trying to turn this into something else and saying, oh, your boy gonna get beat and stuff like that. Listen, both of my boys, to be honest, I like and mess with both of them. You ain't never heard nothing else on my channel. You know, I really like the Benavidez brothers. I've been following them for a minute. Jose and David Benavidez. And one thing, you know, no shade, but I always said David Benavidez, even back before he became a champion, I said he was a bit better to me, right? So it's just a great fight. This is Benavidez versus Darrell. And one thing I will say that I didn't really care for from the pops, the trainer, Jose Benavidez, is that he says we don't fight off the back foot and we come to give the fans what they want and the money and, you know, things like that. And I get that and it sounds good, but I also get boxing and I also get and understand that boxing doesn't always work like that. Boxing, you have to do whatever's working because eventually you're going to fight somebody that might be stronger than you, might be faster than you, might have more power, or they might have equal power or lesser power or whatever, but they have power and you get caught with the right shot, it's going to do things to your body. That's just human nature. So I don't really like when people, quote unquote, kind of rely on those types of statements, like saying stuff like, oh, we fighting to keep people happy and I don't care about fighting off the back end, because I think defense is just as important, if not more important, than offense in boxing. Because Floyd always tells you, you could say whatever you want about Floyd Mayweather, but the proof is in the pudding. Look what he's done. Look at the money he's generated. And look what he's accomplished. The proof is in the pudding. He said to Devin Haney recently in a video, the less you get hit, the longer you last and preserve yourself in the sport of boxing. That's just what it is. So when I'm hearing the trainer who's saying it sounds good, don't get it wrong. It sounds good. Oh, give the fight fans their money's worth. And, you know, we come to fight and we're not running. And I don't like that running talk. Me personally, this is just my opinion, you know, to each his own. I don't like that running talk because I don't look at boxing like running. Like Pernell Whitaker, some people, if he fought in today's era, you know, rest in peace to the God. But if he fought in today's era, you would have old media fans saying that he ran and all this stuff. And this man is a master. You are watching a master at work. So I don't really get down like that with the whole running. I feel boxing is boxing. Whatever style you're blessed with and your upbringing and how you were trained, you got to utilize that to the best of your capability to get the W. That's just what it is. So I don't believe in, I think sometimes it's going to force you to adapt. You have to go to those uncomfortable places. Put it this way. If you fight everybody in your generation that you need to fight, somebody's going to make you do that. And if you don't, then you're going to take a loss. That's just the reality. You have to be able to make those microscopic adjustments and you got to adapt and adjust to the situation. Like, for example, this is just my opinion. David Benavidez is a good fighter, but I do think he was getting outboxed by Anthony Darrell. That being said, there's going to be a guy that stylistically has something for you. Like, let's say Benavidez, who clearly he can move up to 175 at some point. He can make 175 right now, right? That's cool. But I think at some point he'll probably end up moving up. You get what I'm saying? And the reality is, at 75, you got some strong killers. You got guys who are powerful, but as well, they're also, a lot of them can box and have amateur pedigrees. So if Benavidez were to move up and fight, let's say Artur Beterbiev, then it might require you to fight off your back foot. You see what I'm saying? You might have to fight off the back foot. So it just depends on the look you get and who you're in the ring with, who you're opposite with. But I do think David Benavidez is a beast, and he's young, so he's still learning. He's still getting better. Some people, like I said, the old media has brought out the racist for this fight because it's a black fighter, and a Mexican fighter, but I just want to see a good fight. I'm all for it if Jermall Charlo wants to go up. The good thing Charlo got going for himself is he has ability. He has fundamentals. He's athletic, and he himself is big, so he can make 168. And I think his body type would look good at 168. You know, I don't know. I could see either way. Charlo's a beast, so he might just go straight in and want to fight Benavidez, or you know, his handlers or his body or whatever. He might take a couple tune-ups and, you know, acclimate, see what type of looks he gets at 168, see the difference, see if he's outsized by guys height-wise, and you know, things like that, and then maybe build up to the fight. But no matter how you slice this is an excellent fight. And you know, I do like Jose Benavidez, the dad, saying, you know, he's keeping it real. He says Charlo's are good fights. We've been watching them for a while, or I've been watching them, and I'm like, man, these guys are great fighters. He said the knockouts slow down a little bit, which happens as you move up in competition. You know, there's just some great fights, and I can't wait for boxing to come back. That's all I got to say is I can't wait, because it's going to be action-packed, and it's going to be explosive. David Benavidez, he's clearly up in his brand. Him fighting on the Errol Spence Mikey Garcia card was big. I was there, and it had a good turnout, very good turnout, things like that. So he's developed, as he does have a fighting style where fans are easily gonna like what they see, because he has fast hands, deceptively fast, and he's a power puncher, and he's beautiful with the combination punches that he's able to string together. So I look forward to, you know, just watching these guys' journeys. I do think these are some great fights, and when boxing comes back, I'm actually happy, because I think boxing can come back with some heat. I think boxing can come back in a serious way, because if you're talking about fights like Benavidez with Charlo, bro, put that in Texas, bruh. Big Charlo and Benavidez in Texas, that's a masterpiece. You sign me up. See, look how big Charlo is. Like, Charlo ain't small. You know, this Charlo, Jamal. And he could box. So like I said, these are things he got going for him. He has the ability to box. His jab, having a jab is good for any fighter. Every fighter should want that. You know, I don't know how much Charlo, I'm trying to look. I don't know how much Charlo weighs. Like in his off season when he's not. See, he looked big, bruh. This is a good fight. This is a great fight. And Ronnie Shields, underrated trainer as well. Ronnie Shields been in there. He been in there with the best of them. I'm trying to gauge. Okay, so that's Jamal and Errol, the height difference. Maybe I can find a picture with David Benavidez and Errol. Other thing is the Charlos have a personality that some people want to see him lose, some people want to see him win, type of thing. David Benavidez. Some people think of them as villains. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't see any pictures of them together. I was trying to see if there's one. Oh, that's kind of far away. See, it looks similar. It's hard because they're spaced out in this picture. But if you look at Charlo next to David Benavidez, you know, you got Sean Porter's kind of in the middle. And then you've seen Errol was next to. See, I'm pretty good with the eye test. You can kind of gauge how big someone is. And you have to factor in people have different shoes and on different platforms and stuff. So it's not always going to be 100%. But that's the height difference from him. And this is the height difference from David Benavidez. So it looks like both Benavidez and Charlo. Let me actually, I could look up their actual heights. They're both about 6'2", you know, 6'1", 6'2". Box rec. Let's go. Let's get it. Okay, he's listed at 6'1.5". Okay. So I said 6'2", I was close. So he's listed at 6'1.5". And Jermall Charlo is listed at. See, I gotta give you all the accurate new media information. He's listed at 6 foot. Okay. So about 1.5 inches he would be giving up according to the official. Great fight. You could really put this anywhere. Vegas, LA, wherever you feel it makes money. But like I said, Charlos are outspoken. And just the fact that Charlo called out David Benavidez, some people are were angry with that and triggered. So you know people would tune in. The people know what it is with the CHARLO'S. They respect it. You know, you see a lot of like people calling them names and stuff, not liking the personality. What a coincidence. This is, you know, what happens with black fighters. They hate the trash talkers that are black fighters, but then Conor McGregor or whoever who's non-black will trash talk all day, and you know, Chael Sonnen and all these people, and they allegedly like that. But it is what it is. CHARLO'S versus Benavidez would sell. It's an excellent fight. I like both guys. I've been following the careers of both guys. Really good fight. Really good fight. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, who you would favorite to win. Is David Benavidez too strong, too big for Jamal? Is Jamal, you know, too technical for David Benavidez? You know, do you think you have more power at 168? This is just an amazing fight. Hopefully we can get it. But there are some other fights in queue. Chris Eubank versus Jamal. I would love to see Deryevchenko versus Jamal. These are 160 fights. I would like to kind of see those first and get past those and then consider moving up. And for David Benavidez, the Caleb Plant fight is probably the one that's striking and been brewing the longest, but also Caleb Smith, Canelo, you know, all these are great fights. So let me know what you guys think. Head over to Patreon, sign up, become a YouTube channel member, hit that ESPN link. We working. Quarantine or not, we working. Y'all know what it is. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.